Alrighty, so as I mentioned earlier, my works in progress for the foreseeable future will be sample knitting that I am doing for my friend Jess. If you watched the podcast before, you know I like to drop Jess's name. That's basically because she just lives up the road. She's actually my neighbour. So she stopped in yesterday because she's doing a collaboration, or she's actually having a stall with Claire of We Love Knitting at Bendigo. So let me shut that, see if I can mitigate some of the sound of the bird. Yeah, she's having a stall with Claire of We Love Knitting. And as such, they have decided that they would like samples of Jess's patterns knit in Claire's yarn. So I put my hand up, of course, a bit of free yarn and things like that, just for some time for a friend, why not? We do obviously have to give the samples back, but I have put my name down to do 4 different samples, and I started my first one last night. I thought I would start the 2 because I've got 2 one skein projects. You can probably see this in my hand. I've got 2 one skein projects and a 2 skein project and then a 4 skein project. So I thought I would do the first 2, the one skein projects first, get those out of the way because these all need to be done by mid-July so that Jess can take them to Bendigo. And yeah, so I need to get a move on. So that's pretty much all of the knitting time. So it's really good that I'm taking a couple of weeks just to relax and refocus, because I kind of have lost my way a little bit, I think, with Lovebird Lane. I'm tangenting again. Yeah, there are things that I want to do with my shop that I just keep putting off and getting waylaid, and I just want to really stop, reset, refocus. So that's kind of why I've taken these couple of weeks. Simon needed a break as well, so that's why he took next week off and the few days either side, just to really, give himself a rest. Anyway, so it was perfect timing for this sample knitting. So the first thing that I'm doing the Tree Climber hat, which, as I said, is by Jess. So Jess Gore, who is the Sweater Collective. Oh, this ball of yarn does not want to stay. So I started this last night. I did not do a gauge swatch, which I'm hoping is I'm not going to regret, because like I said, it's really cold. Well, it's not super cold, but it's cold enough that it's making it really hard for me to get yarn dry. I did a bunch of dyeing last week, and it literally took from, I think I did the dyeing on Thursday, and it took until at least Monday afternoon for me to be happy that it was dry. So I didn't really want to do a wet block swatch because I knew it would take days for me to get it dry, for me to actually measure it and then start knitting. Yeah, I just don't have the time, quite frankly. So I know I need to go up from Jess's gauge, because I have knit, I knit her Theberton shawl. I did a test for her for that. You will probably remember that. And so I knew from that, and I did a gauge swatch for that, and her recommended needle for this is the same as the recommended needle that she had for the shawl, and I knew I had to go up 1 needle size. So that's what I've done with this hat. So she recommends 3.75 mil. I've gone up to 4. And it's very hard to see. I don't know how well you will be able to see it, but this is a cabled hat. The yarn that I received is actually a lot darker than I was expecting. None of these balls had yarn names on them. So this is We Love Knitting's Merino DK, and I don't know what this colourway is. I was supposed to get graphite, as far as I could tell from the project list. But her graphite is very light grey, or light to medium grey, and this is a very, very, as you can see, a very dark dark charcoal, dark grey. So yeah, I don't know what any of the colours are for these, so I can't tell you. Yeah, so I just started this last night. Usually I cable without a cable needle. However, there are 3/3 cables in this, and I was just struggling last night to get them without the cable needle, so I just dug it out. The bulk of it I can do without a cable needle, and it's only really 2 rows out of the entire pattern of 8 rows per repeat that I need to do with the cable needle, so that's fine. It doesn't bother me at all. It makes my life easier. So for 2 rounds out of 8, it's you know, it's not a hardship. So I think I have completed the first repeat, and I believe I need to do 5 before I start doing the decrease. And I'll pop a picture in so that you can see, because Jess's sample is actually out of a much lighter yarn and you can see the cables a lot better. And it has a pom-pom on the top, so I'm pretty excited to make a hat with a pom-pom. And I've got some clover pom-pom makers around the place somewhere. I'll just have to dig them out. I think they're in one of the bags that are down here under my desk. So I'll have to dig them out, and hopefully I've got the right size to make the right size pom-pom for the hat. So yes, I've never used Claire's yarn before. This is a very light DK, I must say, and knowing that Jess used Bendigo Woolen Mills DK, which is quite fluffy, it's a very thick, the Bendigo Woolen Mills yarns are always on the slightly higher end of ply. It's 8 ply rather than DK, so it's a little closer to worsted. So that's why I didn't want to go up too much with the needle size, because this is quite a fine DK. But it's very soft. It's quite soft, which is lovely. It's got a very interesting construction. To look at it, it looks like it's a very tightly plied 4 ply, I think, but it kind of almost looks a little crepey. I don't think it is crepe construction, but yeah, it's very, very interesting texture to the yarn. So it's really interesting to, you know, knit this pattern, because I've never knit it before, and try this new yarn. So the colour is looking quite good, although I don't know, I think potentially it might be a little bit dark, but if that's what they chose, that's what they're happy with. Yeah, because I just worry that cables don't really show up too well on dark yarn, but it is lovely. I'm really enjoying it so far. So I'm going to try and nut this out within a couple of days, just so that I can I can say that I've got 1 project down. You know, I put my hand up for 4 projects. And even if I get those finished, I'll see if Jess has got any more yarn and more projects that she needs done. But I think they're basically just working on what can get done is what will be at the stall. So if you are going to Bendigo Sheep and Wool this year, definitely head over and check out Claire and Jess's stall and say hi. But yeah, so that's my first project. And I thought I'd just quickly go through the other yarns that I was given that Jess brought me yesterday. And like I said, I'm doing 4 projects, and that's obviously my first project. My other 1 skein project will be knit from this yarn here, and I love this. It's purple. She's got my number there, and this is for the Colour Me Happy cowl. And the original colour was supposed to be mint fetty, I believe, but now it's this purple one, and I don't know what it's called. But what is the yarn that we've got here? It is 100% extra fine merino fingering. So this will be for the Colour Me Happy cowl. Then I'm doing her Daintree shawl, which will be out of this colourway, which looks quite similar to the hat. I don't know if it is the same. It is very similar though, sort of a warm charcoal grey. So this is for Jess's Daintree shawl, and this is extra fine merino and nylon fingering. And then finally, I am going to be doing her Overlander wrap, I think is what it's called. And it's basically in a fade. So I'm not entirely sure how the fade goes, but I gather it probably goes from pink to... I'm not really sure. I'll have to have a look at the picture again, but I've got these 4 skeins here. Don't know if it says on one of the tags what base it is, but it kind of feels a bit like the same as the confetti skein that I've got over there. So this is for her Overlander wrap. So yeah, all those projects will be coming up over the next month. So hopefully I can get quite a bit done while we're away next week and during my break. Oh, sorry, reach down into the bag so I can put all the yarn away, keep it protected. But yeah, so a bit of sample knitting, a bit of fun. I haven't actually done sample knitting before, so sorry about the crinkling. So that's pretty good to try new things, and it'll be pretty exciting to have something that I've made on display at Bendigo. And I guess I could just finish up now by doing a little bit of Lovebird Lane yarn news, because I did a little bit of a shop update, like those yarns that I said I was struggling to get dry, they all went into the shop. I had one left of rose gold because I had to do a custom order of rose gold, and I had one left and that got snapped up over the weekend. So I will just grab the colourways that I have that were actually very popular before, and I now have restocked, so if you did miss out, bear with me. So these were the 3 colourways that were very popular, and they sold out super quick last time I had them. I only had the one evergreen last time. I now have 4 on various bases. I think 3 out of the 4 are fingering weight, and I have 1 on Aran. So that was evergreen. I know a lot of you really liked that more bluey green that I had last week, and I have more of Black Hole and Princess Sparkles, which is what I used in my little arrow shawl. So I've got these on various fingering bases. So if you did miss out on these colorways last time, there is now some more in the shop, and you get a second chance. And I think that's about it. I think I will cut it off there because I know I'm probably already over half an hour. And the longer these things get, the longer they take to edit, the longer they take to render, and the longer they take to upload. So I will leave it there. I will, I'm sure, be Instagramming things over the next couple of weeks. Lovebird Lane might be a little bit quiet, but Anna Julie probably will have some stuff on there. So if you want to see some other little bits and pieces from my trip next week, head over to Instagram and find Anne of Julie and follow me there. And anyway, thank you so much for watching. I will be back with another podcast, hopefully in 2 weeks' time after my 1 week away next week. And thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, give us a thumbs up. It really helps with YouTube. And if you haven't already, click that subscribe button. And do remember to click the bell. If you do want to see updates from me, remember to click the bell, because then YouTube will tell you every time I upload a video. They're getting a little bit funky with their algorithms and things now, and keep this in mind for all of your YouTube channels that you follow. If you don't interact with the channel regularly, they now will put that channel further down your subscription list. They're moving away from it being chronological, as everybody is, and nobody wants non-chronological. Anyway, yeah, so if you do want to keep up with the podcasts or any podcast that you do watch, remember to click the bell icon just to make sure that you still know that they are releasing podcasts. So little PSA for you there. But yes, anyway, have a fantastic couple weeks. I hope you guys are keeping cool or keeping warm wherever you are. Happy crafting, and I will chat to you soon. Bye.